Diane Keaton is one of Hollywood's most loved actresses. She won an Oscar and worked in so many amazing films. But do you know that she had a dream list of actors she wanted to work with? These were not just any actors. These were legends who could change her career forever. And guess what? She got to work with all of them. Each one taught her something special. Each one gave her a role that made her famous. Today we are going to talk about those 5 special actors who made Diane Keaton's dreams come true. Before we dive into video, please subscribe to our channel. Number 1. Woody Allen. Woody Allen was the first person who truly believed in Diane Keaton's talent. When Diane was a young actress, she was doing theater in New York. She was not famous at all. Woody Allen saw her in a play and immediately knew she was special. He cast her in his Broadway show called Play It Again, Sam in 1969. This was the beginning of their long partnership. Woody did not just give Diane work. He gave her roles that were made for her personality. He understood her quirky style and her unique way of talking. Their most famous film together was Annie Hall, which came out in 1977. Diane played a character named Annie Hall who was nervous and funny and wore men's clothes. This role was so perfect for Diane that people still remember it today. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress for this performance. Diane once said in an interview, "Woody saw something in me that I did not see in myself. He gave me confidence as an actress." This quote shows how important Woody was for her career. But Annie Hall was not their only film. They worked together in many movies like Manhattan and Sleeper and Love and Death. In each film, Diane got to show different sides of her acting. She did comedy and romance and even some dramatic scenes. Working with Woody Allen for so many years made Diane a better actress. She learned how to do natural dialogue. She learned how to be funny without trying too hard. She learned how to make small moments feel important. Diane also said, "Working with Woody was like going to acting school every day. He never told me exactly what to do. He let me find the character myself." This freedom made Diane more creative. She started wearing her own clothes in films. She added her own style to characters. This became her signature look. The relationship between Woody and Diane was also romantic for some time. They dated in real life, which made their on-screen chemistry very natural. Even after they stopped dating, they remained close friends and continued working together. Diane always called Woody her mentor and her friend. She said, "He changed my life completely. Without Woody, I would not be the actress I am today." Their partnership lasted for decades. Even in later years, Woody would call Diane for small roles in his films. She always said yes because she respected him so much. Woody Allen gave Diane Keaton her big break. He gave her an Oscar. He gave her confidence. He made her dream of being a serious actress come true. That is why Woody Allen will always be number 1 on her dream co-star list. Number 2. Al Pacino. Al Pacino gave Diane Keaton something that Woody Allen could not give her. He gave her respect as a dramatic actress. Before The Godfather, Diane was known mostly for comedy and quirky roles. But when Francis Ford Coppola cast her as Kay Adams in The Godfather in 1972, everything changed. Kay was the girlfriend and later wife of Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino. This was a serious role in a serious film. Diane had to show pain and strength and loyalty in this character. Working with Al Pacino was intense. Al was already a respected actor even before The Godfather. He was trained in method acting, which means he became the character completely. Diane watched him work and learned so much. She said, "Al taught me that acting is not just about saying lines. It is about feeling everything the character feels." This lesson stayed with Diane for her entire career. In The Godfather, Kay starts as an innocent college girl who loves Michael. But as the story continues, she sees Michael become a dangerous mob boss. Kay has to decide if she will stay with him or leave him. Diane showed this change beautifully. Her face showed the pain of loving someone who is becoming a stranger. The scene where Kay confronts Michael about his crimes is one of the most powerful scenes in the movie. Diane did not have many lines, but her eyes said everything. The Godfather became one of the greatest films ever made. It won the Best Picture Oscar. Suddenly, Diane Keaton was not just a comedy actress. She was part of cinema history. She came back for The Godfather Part 2 in 1974. In this film, Kay has even more important scenes. There is a heartbreaking moment where Kay tells Michael she had an abortion because she did not want to bring another child into his violent world. This scene required real dramatic power, and Diane delivered it perfectly. Al Pacino respected Diane as an actress. He once said, "Diane brought humanity to The Godfather. Kay was the moral center of the story, and Diane made us believe in her." This quote shows how important Diane's role was, even though she was not in the mafia world. She represented the normal world that Michael was leaving behind. Diane later said, "Working with Al was intimidating at first. He was so talented and focused, but he was also kind. He helped me during difficult scenes. He made me feel like I belonged in that film. The Godfather proved that Diane could do any kind of role. She could do comedy with Woody Allen, and she could do drama with Al Pacino. This range made her one of the most versatile actresses in Hollywood. The Godfather films opened new doors for Diane. Directors started offering her serious roles. She was not just the funny girlfriend anymore. She was a complete actress. Al Pacino made her dream of being respected in dramatic films come true. That is why he is so important in her career story. Number 3. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson gave Diane Keaton something very special. He gave her a romantic role when she was over 60 years old. In Hollywood, most actresses stop getting romantic lead roles after they turn 40. But Jack and Diane proved that romance is not just for young people. They worked together in Something's Gotta Give, which came out in 2003. This film was a game changer for older actresses everywhere. In the movie, Jack plays a rich older man who only dates young women. Diane plays a successful playwright who is the mother of one of his girlfriends. When Jack's character has a heart attack, he has to stay at Diane's beach house. Slowly, these two people who are very different start falling in love. The film showed that people in their 60s can still feel butterflies and passion and confusion about love. Diane was nervous about doing romantic scenes at her age. She said, "I thought I was too old for this. I thought audiences would not believe it. But Jack made me feel beautiful and confident." Jack Nicholson is known as one of Hollywood's greatest actors and biggest stars. Working with him was a dream Diane had for many years. She said, "Jack is dangerous and charming and unpredictable. Acting with him keeps you on your toes." The chemistry between Diane and Jack was electric. There is a scene where Jack's character writes love letters to Diane's character. When she reads them, she cries. This scene was so touching that it made audiences cry too. Diane got an Oscar nomination for Best Actress for this role. At the Academy Awards, she wore a turtleneck and a skirt which was very different from the glamorous gowns other actresses wore. This was pure Diane Keaton style. Something Gotta Give made over $260 million worldwide. It proved that movies about older people could be big hits. Diane said, "This film gave me a career again. After 50, most actresses struggle to find good roles. Jack in this movie gave me hope." The film also started important conversations about ageism in Hollywood. People asked why older men get romantic roles, but older women do not. Diane in this film helped change that thinking. Jack Nicholson said about Diane, "She is one of the great actresses. She is funny and real and brave." Working with her was pure joy. Their friendship continued after the film. They would meet for dinners and support each other's work. Diane always said that Jack reminded her to take risks as an actress. He reminded her that acting should be fun and exciting. The role in Something's Gotta Give became one of Diane's most famous performances. Young actresses and old actresses both loved it. It showed that women can be successful and romantic and complicated at any age. Jack Nicholson helped Diane prove that age is just a number. He made her dream of playing a romantic lead again come true. That is why Jack will always be special in her heart. Number 4. Beatty Warren. Beatty was not just a co-star for Diane Keaton. He was her real-life boyfriend for many years. They met in the 1970s and fell in love. Warren was one of the biggest movie stars in the world. He was famous for being handsome and charming and dating beautiful women. But with Diane it was different. He respected her mind and her talent. They worked together in several films, but the most important one was Reds, which came out in 1981. Reds was Warren's passion project. He directed it and starred in it and produced it. The film told the true story of John Reed, an American journalist who witnessed the Russian Revolution. Diane played Louise Bryant, who was a writer and John Reed's lover. This was a huge epic film that took years to make. It was 3 hours long and had real historical witnesses telling their stories. Diane said, "Warren believed I could play Louise even when I doubted myself. This was the most challenging role of my life." Louise Bryant was a strong, independent woman who wanted to be a serious writer. She loved John Reed, but she also wanted her own identity. Diane understood this struggle because she felt the same way in her relationship with Warren. She said, "Playing Louise was like playing parts of myself. I understood her completely." The filming of Reds was difficult. They shot in many countries, including Spain and Finland and England. The schedule was exhausting. But Warren supported Diane through everything. He knew how to bring out her best performance. There is a scene where Louise and John have a big fight about their relationship. Diane and Warren used their real emotions in that scene. It felt very true and raw. Diane got her second Oscar nomination for Reds. She did not win, but the nomination proved she could handle big dramatic roles. Critics praised her performance. One review said, "Diane Keaton makes Louise Bryant a modern woman ahead of her time. She is brilliant." Warren also got many nominations, including Best Director and Best Actor. The film won 3 Oscars, including Best Cinematography. Working with Warren taught Diane about dedication. She said, "Warren is a perfectionist. He would do 50 takes of one scene until it was exactly right. I learned patience and commitment from him." Their romantic relationship ended some years later, but they remained friends. Diane always spoke warmly about Warren. She said, "He was a true love in my life. He made me better as an actress and as a person." Warren Beatty said about Diane, "She is fearless. She will try anything as an actress. That is a rare quality." Reds was an important film in both their careers. It showed that they could do serious historical drama. It showed that their partnership was creative and powerful. For Diane, working with someone she loved in such an ambitious project was a dream come true. Warren gave her one of the most complex and beautiful roles of her career. That is why he holds a special place in her story. Number 5. Steve Martin. Steve Martin brought Diane Keaton back to her comedy roots, but in a completely different way. After years of doing dramatic roles and art films, Diane needed something fun and light. In 1991, she got the role of Nina Banks in Father of the Bride. Steve Martin played her husband, George Banks. This film became one of the most beloved family comedies ever made. Father of the Bride is about a father who struggles when his daughter decides to get married. George Banks, played by Steve Martin, is funny and emotional and a bit crazy about the wedding plans. Nina, played by Diane, is the calm and supportive mother who tries to keep everyone happy. The film showed a loving marriage and a warm family. People connected with it immediately. Working with Steve Martin was like a breath of fresh air for Diane. She said, "Steve made me laugh every single day on set. He reminded me why I love acting. It is supposed to be joyful." Steve Martin is known for his incredible comedy skills. He can be physical and silly, but also very smart and subtle. Diane learned from his timing and his generosity as an actor. The chemistry between Diane and Steve felt very real. They played a couple who had been married for many years. They had inside jokes and comfortable silences and deep love. Diane said, "We did not try to be funny. We just played real people in a funny situation. That made it work." The film was directed by Charles Shire and it became a huge hit. It made over $129 million, and people wanted more. In 1995, they made Father of the Bride Part 2, where the daughter and the mother both get pregnant at the same time. Again, Diane and Steve showed their perfect chemistry. The scene where they find out Nina is pregnant is hilarious and sweet. Diane could do comedy without being loud or over the top. She was naturally funny, which made the character feel honest. Steve Martin said, "Diane is one of the best scene partners I ever had. She listens and reacts and gives you everything you need." This quote shows the respect they had for each other. Father of the Bride also introduced Diane to a new generation of fans. Kids who watched the movie loved her as the cool mom. Parents related to the wedding stress and family chaos. These films proved that Diane could be a mainstream comedy star. She did not need to do only art house films or independent projects. She could make movies that everyone enjoyed. Diane said, "Father of the Bride gave me financial security and happiness. It was pure fun with no pressure. Steve made that possible." The film became a classic that families watch together even today. Steve Martin made Diane's dream of doing a warm family comedy come true. He showed her that commercial success and artistic integrity can go together. He reminded her that making people laugh is a beautiful gift. That is why Steve Martin completes her list of dream co-stars. Each of these 5 actors gave Diane something unique, and together, they built her incredible career. Diane Keaton's story teaches us something beautiful about dreams. She did not just wish to work with great actors. She actually made it happen. Each of these 5 legends gave her something different. Woody Allen gave her confidence and her first Oscar. Al Pacino gave her respect as a dramatic actress. Jack Nicholson gave her romance and proved age does not matter. Warren Beatty gave her love and the most challenging role of her life. Steve Martin gave her joy and reminded her that making people laugh is special. These 5 actors did not just work with Diane. They believed in her talent. They pushed her to be better. They respected her unique style. Together, they helped create one of the most interesting careers in Hollywood history. Diane went from unknown theater actress to Oscar winner, to romantic lead to family comedy star. Not many actors can say they did so many different things successfully. What makes DIANE's journey inspiring is that she stayed true to herself. She never tried to be like other actresses. She did quirky roles instead of just glamorous ones. She took risks even when she was scared. Her dream co-stars appreciated this honesty. They saw her authenticity and wanted to work with her because of it. For anyone who has dreams, this story shows that preparation meets opportunity. DIANE worked hard in theater before Woody found her. She took dramatic roles seriously before The Godfather. She stayed relevant by choosing good scripts. When opportunities came, she was ready. Today, Diane Keaton is remembered as one of Hollywood's greatest actresses. But she never forgets these 5 men who helped her along the way. In interviews, she always thanks them with warmth and gratitude. They made her career dreams come true, and she made their films unforgettable. That is the magic of true collaboration.